Hey y'all! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kira and I am a 35-year-old cash budgeter and stuffer. Today we are going to be cash stuffing $447. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Give it a cash count here. Just to make sure we have the right amount of funds. So let me know in the comments if this angle is a little bit better than last week. You know, I was a little rusty, or the last video rather, was a bit rusty because it was my first time back in a while. So my angle and stuff was a little bit off. So I just want to make sure I zoomed in a little better and made sure I paid better attention to make sure that everything just looked a little more clear. I felt like things were a little bit of a blur last time. Not terrible, but not great either. So anyway, so we have here 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 270, 290, 310, 330, 340, 350, 360, 370, 370, 375, 380, 390, 395, 370, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 400, 405, 410, 415, 420, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 41, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So $447. So I do have my cheat sheet off to the side here, so we know where funds are going where. Today, our family binder, well, my family binder, is getting stuffed today. First up, we have mom and dad anniversary, and as you probably can see, last time this was filled, I cleared this off camera, because it was my OCD, guys. I felt like all my other trackers were starting fresh, so I felt like I would just start this one over too. So I'm just gonna refill this one out. So I remembered the last date on here when I started for the new, the restart for this envelope. So it was $426. I added $8, and there was $8 in here. Today is what? August, the 29th. And today we're adding $6. So 5 and 6. Ew, look at that raggedy one. Anyway, these bills are not the best, but we'll just make do with what we got here. So we have 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, and $14 in the parents' anniversary envelope. These sinking funds are now all being saved for 2026. As all these holidays events have passed at this point. So yeah. All right, next up, Mother's Day. Mother's Day is getting stuffed $6 today. So let's go ahead and fill out our tracker. And this 5 and 6, and this is all that it has, because we're starting late on this one. Like I was kind of telling you guys last week, we had a little hiccup in finances and we had to hold all the sinking funds for a while. So okay, next up is my mom's birthday envelope, and that is getting $6 today as well, and that is all that this envelope has at the moment. So 5, 6. Okay, moving on. My sister's envelope is getting $12 today. And that is going to be all that this envelope has. So 10, 11, and 12. All right, next up we got Father's Day. Father's Day is getting $12 today as well. So 10, 11, and 12. Okay. And then last envelope in the family binder is my dad's birthday. And this envelope is going to be getting $6. And that is going to be all that this envelope has. Okay. It feels nice to be able to stuff this binder again, because let me tell you, I definitely missed it. It's nice to have a little start. Had a nice start on this one. So that is it for the family binder. Now we are moving over to my pink binder, which is my sinking funds. And all right, first envelope is Beauty, which is also beautified, as you can see here. And I don't know if I ever mentioned this or not, but I got, I felt crafty and I started playing with like Canva and laminating machines and crap, and I actually made these inserts myself. I don't remember, it's been a while, so, but I did actually make these inserts. I mean, they're not perfect. I mean, hello, it was my first time really making them, but they actually came out pretty nice. So anyway, so Beautify today is getting $27. So 25, 6, and 7. Got my calculator off to the side here because you're growing a human calculator, okay? So we are adding 27 and just double checking. And now this envelope will have 81. So let's just double count, make sure we are on track here. All right, so we got 50, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, and 81, and Beauty. So again, this is for my upcoming hair appointment in a couple of weeks. I am way overdue, of course, but again, some things had to be put on hold for a bit due to some financial hardship over the last few months. So we're just getting back on the bandwagon with things, which feels good. All right, my next envelope is car care. Speaking of, which is getting $100 today. So trying to beef this up and get this account up, 1. 2, my car is due for an oil change and tire rotation. So I actually finally got that appointment set up today. And yeah, so that should cost me about under $100. I was going to take it to the dealer where I bought the car, but I called and made the appointment there, and then I like called and was like, hey, can you just give me a ballpark number of how much it's going to be? Because it's my first time taking it there. All my other cars I bought from the same dealer for years and years and years, so I always kind of knew what it was. Well, they are significantly a little bit more expensive for just an oil change. It's like over $100. I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like paying that. So yeah, so I actually went back to the dealer where I got all my other cars prior, and they were a little bit cheaper. So I'm actually just going to take it there, and it's fine. It's cool because I've had a long relationship with them. 1, 2, they are going to be closer, so I can just easily drop it off the night before and pick it up when it's ready, versus taking it further out at the other dealer where I bought it from, and essentially having to sit and wait for it. So anyway, so car care, we added 100, so now we are up to 155. So that appointment is in a couple of weeks. So yeah, a couple weeks for that. So 155, so 51, 55. So 155 in car care. All right. Next up is car insurance, which is not getting anything today. However, I have some news, guys. I did it. I went ahead and paid the bill for my car insurance 6 months of upfront, which I am so happy and proud of. So, when I had paid the bill, I essentially paid my bill for like July, because at the time my payment didn't fully go through for the month of July, and so it got tacked on to the balance of the upfront 6 months that I would have had to pay, what I paid for the 6-month period from August through February of 26. So and then, like I said, over an additional $100 that got added on to that bill that I ended up having to pay that I didn't anticipate paying. So technically, the account got credited like $100 and something. So instead of me just taking that money back, I'm gonna take it and just put it in my car care account and let it sit in the bank and just let it, and then once I do that, I'll fill out the tracker for that. So I'll just have it's in the bank, and I'll just keep slowly stuffing it for the next goal, which it'll probably be like a $700 or maybe $650 goal for the next round that I would have to pay in February. So that, and with doing that, it's a good thing because it'll jumpstart me for, you know, stuffing it towards the next next 6 months, which wouldn't be until February. So anyway, car insurance isn't getting anything today, but I did pay it up front. I'm so proud. I definitely was something I've been wanting to do for some time, and I'm glad that I finally did it. And it was like a goal. It was definitely a stretch because, you know, having to pull those extra funds to just do it because of the financial hardship, I was stuffing and doing really well with adding to the envelope. It was just once I hit that wall with finances, I wasn't able to really stuff it consistently like I was. So I had to end up coughing up an extra like $200 and something to do it, but I was determined to do it. So I'm just happy that I did. Yeah. So HOA is getting 20 today. I know this, tracker looks a little wonky. That's because I kind of boo-booed it when I put the money on here last week when I wrote it in, and it looks super sloppy. So the way that my OCD is set up, I had to fix it. So I fixed this tracker off camera. So right now we're adding 20, and that will bring this envelope to $60. Again, this is not my actual HOA. This is actually the sewer, and we pay it through our HOA fees and everything every quarter. So it's $104 every quarter. So the next bill isn't due until October. So we are a little ahead on that. Okay. Next up is Christmas. Christmas is getting $50 today. I'm definitely going to try my best to stuff this more, like as much as I can, but I don't know. We'll see what things are looking like. I just have 9,000 things going on at the same time, and it's just kind of like a lot right now. So we're adding 50 here, and that will bring, we already have we have a $100 bill in here now. So 150 in Christmas. Excuse me. Oh my God, what's happening? Ugh. Okay. Next up, we have vacation. Vacation isn't getting anything today. Neither is medical. Neither is baby. Neither is the checking buffer, but Queendom, I added a tracker in here for this, guys. I figured it made sense to add a tracker in here. So what I think I'm going to do is maybe once this envelope hits like $500, I'll take all the cash and put it in my house account that I have. Queendom is my house. That's why it's Queendom. Anyway, yes. Speaking of the Queendom, even though I'm beefing up this envelope again and adding money to it, there's always something that pops up, right? So 2 things. One, I am going to have my AC unit serviced next week. To be very honest, I haven't had it done since I moved in. Boo-boo, shame on me. But I'm going to do better, right? I think, honestly, I was always afraid of how much it was going to cost, and I kind of just, like, put it off. But I did notice something was going on with it last winter, because I have central air, central heat. So last winter, I noticed, like, after the heat would run, it would do, like, this boom at the end, right? And I'm like, what is that? And it's been doing it, and I didn't know what it was for the longest time, and then finally I was in my basement, like, just watching TV or whatever, and all of a sudden I heard that when it, like, went off. After it's running, it shut off. And I'm like, what the heck? So I thought maybe it just had something to do with the heat. So then summer came or whatever, and I turned my air on. It's doing the same thing. That it'll run the air, and then once it shuts off for their cycle, it goes boom or whatever. I'm like, what is that? So clearly something is going on. It definitely needs to be serviced. It hasn't been serviced since I moved in. So I'm gonna make sure that I have that done. So I did call in and just said, like, hey, like, what's a general estimate for, like, a cleaning, service, maintenance, whatever. It's, like, gonna cost, like, $125 or so. So that's what some of this money is actually gonna go towards next week. So yeah, so that's that situation. So let me just count this, and I'm gonna fix the trackers to say what I put in here when I stuffed it on the 17th. I think I put like 100, no, 51, 20, 40, 50, 60. So there's 160 in here right now. We're adding how much are we adding? Oh, we're adding 140. Look, y'all, I don't play my house account because, look, when I had to use that money for this house account, you talk about heartbroken that I had to, like, take all the money, 20, 40, I mean, 51, 20, 40. Yes, y'all, I was literally, like, depressed. But I mean, I was grateful I had the money, but at the same time, I just felt like, wow, you guys are really, this is dirty right now. Like, I worked so hard to build that account. And it was like, when I started doing the house account, and like when I started saving towards the house, I literally would, like, every 50 bucks I would get for anything, whether it was extra cash, extra money in my paycheck, side hustle money, every $50 increment, I was going to the bank. I didn't care. I was going to the bank. So, and I was putting $50 at a time in there, and then next thing you knew, that account was just growing, and I just remember being wowed by just my consistency of just doing that. And just, you know, that just goes to show, like, every dollar counts. Everything adds up, no matter how small you start. And I thought $50 wasn't enough money to get it to, you know, a certain point. And before I knew it, there was $500 in there, and there was $1,000 in there, and so forth and so on. So yeah, listen, y'all, I'm trying to tell you. So Queendom now, it should be 300 now. So we have 51, 52, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 300, which just seeing this $300 right now is just making me excited. Because I tell you, when I know everybody these days pretty much checks their bank accounts to death. So I know when I log on my account online, and I was seeing that account, like, looking like absolutely, like, homeless, I was like, oh yeah, we got to do something about this here. So it's going to be nice once I start. So that means we have about $200. I almost forgot to fill in the updated amount. So we're about $200 away from putting this in the bank. However, that could change come next week with the AC unit servicing that I'm getting done. So the other thing about the Queendom is, last envelope today is gifts, and gifts is getting 12 bucks. So real quick, so my my godson, his birthday is coming up at the middle of September. So this is just saving towards his birthday gift. So now gifts has 10, 25, 35, 6, 7. So $37 in gifts. So the other thing about the Queendom is, so my refrigerator, long story short, like it was like less than a year before I got the house, my parents had got a new refrigerator. So the old one, it's a stainless steel and black refrigerator. We had it when we had the house built, at my parents' house built nearly 20 years, almost 20 years ago at this point. It's like 19 years. Well, whatever, 18, 19 years, whatever. So it's like nearly 20 years old. So when they got the new refrigerator, they were like, all right, well, we'll just save it for you since you're probably you're gearing up to get a house. I'm like, okay, so cool. So we had it in the basement at my parents, and had it in the basement, sat there all that time. It was, like I said, less than a year before I finally like legitimately got my house and everything. So it was unplugged all that time. So when I moved in my house and we went to put the refrigerator in, my house came with the refrigerator, but I didn't want that one. Of course, I wanted to swap it for the one that my parents had gave me. Plus, it was stainless steel, the one that they gave me. And the one that the house had in here was like an ivory cream color. So my parents took that one. And then I brought the stainless steel one here. So when it came, we plugged it in. Hours and hours and hours went by. It was not getting cold. We're like, what is happening? So we're thinking, oh my God, it's broke. I'm probably going to buy one anyway. So we ended up finding somebody and called them up. And pretty much they came, they had gassed it up, put some fluid in there or whatever they had to do to kind of gas it up. And then it started to work. So granted, I've been in my house almost 4 years. So I'm grateful that it's lasted me this long. But it was it's been a few months now that I kind of started to notice like my freezer is it's a bit spotty. And what I mean by that is like it's cold, it freezes, but there's certain parts and areas of the freezer, which I can't really be specific because it's kind of random in a way. So I feel like certain parts of the freezer isn't getting fully freezed or frozen properly like it should be. Like, thankfully I haven't had any issues with like, you know, some meats and stuff that I have in there, but it could be something like a pint of ice cream that I had in there, for example, and it wouldn't get frozen, hard frozen rather. And then there was times where I've opened the freezer, because the pint of ice cream was in there for a while because it actually was my sister. She had left it there. And anyway, so yes, it was my sister's. So then a few times I've opened it and it was frozen regular. Then the next thing you know, I would just randomly check it just to see like if I was like, if it really was like maybe I don't know, maybe my meat or something was covering certain, you know, vents or something in the freezer, like for it to do that or something. So I would move stuff around and it would still continue to do the same thing. So then I looked at like the knobbies where you can turn it up or down, and it's pretty much 3 out of 4 already. So I turned it up a little bit more, not completely on 4, but just a little before 4. And it continued to do the same thing. So finally I got to thinking, and I was like, you know what? I think it might be time to get a new refrigerator, because the other downfall of the refrigerator that kind of sucked all this time was it's like one of the double door kind or whatever. And the ice maker machine was broke on the refrigerator, and I was okay with that. Basically the ice would just like get clogged real bad, and it would just cause all this mess inside the freezer. So and then the other piece was my dad and I tried to hook up the water line, and we were just unsuccessful for whatever reason. So it was fine, whatever. So I just all this time didn't have an ice maker machine through the refrigerator or the water part or whatever. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. So then once that started happening, like, you know, it's probably time to get a new one. I'm just going to just bite the bullet and just look into it because it's time. And then I was like, well, I'll check it. I started browsing online because with the holiday weekend, Labor Day, stuff is on sale. So I started looking a couple nights ago and I found a couple that I liked. So then yesterday I went to Best Buy and looked at them in person because I was just going to order online. But I said, no, let me look in person, see which one spacing wise, because it was kind of between two of them. It was like a Samsung one and an LG one. And of course, I immediately gravitated towards the Samsung one. I mean, hello, it was beautiful. And the even more exciting part was so I was going to get the regular stainless steel one. And then they had the one I seen in the store was like the black stainless steel one. And online, the black stainless steel one was more. But for whatever reason, when I went in the store, it actually was $20 cheaper than the stainless steel one. And the stainless steel one online was cheaper than the black one. So it was just really strange. So I ended up getting the Samsung one. I'll show you guys a picture, but... And yeah, so that's coming on Monday. So I said, you know what, whatever. I'm just going to chalk it. I'm debating if I want to like post a couple of pictures of the refrigerator that I'm getting rid of and just like see if somebody wants to just come get it this weekend on Facebook or whatever, because you never know, somebody might need one. And if nobody wants it, then I'll just have them take it away or whatever. But other than that, yeah, so I'm getting a new refrigerator. And so it's going to be exciting to have an ice maker and the water and a new freezer just because it's new and fresh and not have any freezer issues. So, yeah, so just all this to say, I know it was a little longer than anticipated, but all this to say, like, it's just always something, right? Always something. Of course, my friend yelled at me. She's like, you always want to spend money. I mean, I get it. I could have probably waited longer, but this has been going on a little too long, and the way that my OCD is set up, I can only deal with it so long, and I'm shocked that I dealt with it this long. But you know what, I probably would have jumped on it had I not been dealing with like some of the crazy financial stuff that I was dealing with. I probably would have got one as soon as it started doing that with the spottiness of the freezing, because I just can't. So anyway, so that is that situation. The last thing we're going to do, guys, we're going to stuff my 100 envelope challenge. Goal is to just keep putting something in here, no matter how big or small, because the goal is just to freaking finish the challenge. So I decided, I had a little bit of extra money in my paycheck this week because it was a magic month. Due to, well, whatever, it's just a magic month, which means like you get an extra paycheck. So I'm a bi-weekly pay schedule, so this was my third paycheck for the month, which is why we call it a magic month or whatever. So I designated $50 to go in here, because usually, well, in the third paycheck they don't take out your insurance medical stuff payment because you already paid it for the month. So I had a couple dollars to play with. So I'm designated $50 to go in here today. So I designated certain numbers that we're going to fill, which is $50 worth. So the first number we're filling is the number 2. So we're going to fill that in. I also decided, like, any side hustle money that I get in cash, I'm going to like try to fill those numbers in, as I cannot seem to get this in here. Fill more numbers in with that, like any side hustle cash, because sometimes I'll sell stuff on like Facebook Marketplace and stuff, and I'll get cash from that, and I cannot seem to get freaking money in here. Okay. Next number is the number 3. Yeah, so any whatever side hustle money that I get is gonna go in here if I get cash. But the goal is to get this up, because I want to like really put this towards savings. I want to put this towards some debt. I just want to continue to go in the right direction. We are doing 5, which is a $5 bill. Ugh. And let me tell you, one thing I'm going to do, y'all, I'm a hustler, okay? I'm a hustler. So my friend had told me about this fall festival where they're looking for vendors. So I was like, oh, well, so where I gotta sign up at. So I had reached out to them via email this morning. So I'm like literally waiting for them to respond to me so I can kind of be like, this is what I want to sell. So I make really good buffalo chicken dips. I was thinking about selling those, and I'm actually well known for making chocolate treats. So I was thinking about doing chocolate pretzels and selling them, and you know, putting a couple dollars towards that. We're filling we're filling this whole page 6, 7, and 8, and then we're gonna fill 9 and 10 on this for the challenge here. So I was thinking about doing that for the flea market because they're looking for just like food vendors and people with craft stuff. So that's what I was thinking I could do. And then there is not a flea market. That's the fall festival. I'm sorry. I also found a flea market as well, and that's coming up in a couple of weeks. I think my hands are too sweaty or something. I cannot get this freaking money in here today. Struggles. So I signed up for that flea market as well. So it's $30, and you know, you can sell like, you know, miscellaneous stuff. So I always have like clothes and random stuff that I'm trying to sell. Listen, I'm always trying to hustle $1, okay? And then also, if they allow me, I might try to do the buffalo chicken dips and 5, 6, 7, and 8 for that one as well. But that one is primarily going to be like clothes, pocketbooks, bags, shoes, stuff that I just have that I need to get rid of, stuff that I've had, you know, like posted on Facebook Marketplace for some time. I've also had some items posted in my Macari, which I've sold a lot of things through there. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So yeah, so I'm excited. I did sign up for the flea market. That's September the 13th. And then the fall festival is in October. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Really am looking forward to that. One thing I will do is I will hustle me some money. Whatever I have to do to make money, I will do it. And speaking of, I did want to bring this to the forefront as well. So from my last video, we talked about how I went through a financial hardship for the last like 4 months. I'm just getting back on track this month. And I wanted to kind of mention what else I did during that time to try to stay afloat, right? Because I had to do what I needed to do. Now, yeah, I kind of did look for part-time jobs. And that is it for the 100 envelope count. So today we stuffed 8 slots, which is amazing progress. Amazing progress. So I'm super excited about that. Yes, so I'm super excited that I filled out 8 envelopes today. Awesome. So like I said, I'm going to continue to, you know, fill it with, you know, budget some money in it with my paychecks, any side hustle money that I get in cash, things like that. I will put that money in these envelopes because we got to do here. We got to save this money. We got to get these accounts back up, these envelopes up, all that. So what I was getting ready to go into is, last video I did discuss, you know, the time I was going through with my financial hardship. And during those months of things that I kind of did to kind of hustle $1. Like I told you, one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to hustle me some money, okay? Find me something to sell, which I did do that. I definitely sold, you know, things on Facebook Marketplace. I've always been doing that for years. Ever since I started, once I got determined and knew, like, this is it. I slammed the hammer on my finances and I knew I wanted to get a house, which is all that I talked about, like, forever. And finally, like, I talked about it. And then finally it was like, I need to take this more serious. Like, I need to, like, think of a system, had to get better with have a better relationship with money. I needed to clean up some debt. I needed to figure out how to save real money, because you can't be like, oh yeah, I want to buy a house, and they'd be like, where's your money at? Right? So, that's how I kind of figured out the method. I've printed out a savings tracker that I colored in $50 at a time, which is the house account that I was talking about earlier. But that's kind of like when I started really hustling. I've been making chocolate treats for years, like over 10 years. I kind of I'm not gonna say I'm retired, but I'm a little retired. I made them so much during the time that I was like trying to go through my house process and trying to save money and make money, that I think I kind of burnt myself out a little bit, because I was literally every freaking holiday. You want treats? Yes, I'm doing them on the 4th of July too, okay? I used to pick certain holidays like Valentine's Day, Halloween, Easter. Sometimes I would do like Mother's Day and stuff, but I literally, every holiday. Oh, Memorial Day, you want treats? Yup. So yeah, it was doing all that. So yeah, I was hustling, chocolate treats. This was back when I was saving for my house all that time. And then I also started really heavily selling stuff, going through my room, cleaning stuff out, finding pocketbooks that are just sitting collecting dust, and I'm like, it's a brand new like Michael Kors bag I can make a buck off of. Yeah, I'm gonna sell it. So I sold a lot of things on like Facebook Marketplace, a lot of things through Macari. I learned about Macari through, and it's an app and you can sell things on. I learned about that app through the Budget Mom, which is who who got me really inspired and motivated to budget and all that. So yeah, so that's what I did during this time. I was selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Stuff is still listed. I'm always trying to make a buck. Stuff is still listed, and I sold a few things through the Macari. The other thing that I did back in June, I signed up for a yard sale. It was like a community yard sale. It was only like $20 to sign up. I set up shop in the parking spot. Yes, I did. And I was pulling all the stuff and selling that. Clothes, shoes, whatever the frig I could find at the time, because I needed the money, okay? I made out pretty good that day. I was actually surprised that, because it was a little rainy that day, like on and off rain. I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. There's probably not even going to be any people really out here like that, because who wants to come out in the rain? Was I wrong? People was out here. They was out there, okay? Umbrellas, rain boots and all. They was out there. These people loved them some yard sales. I said, oh, okay, they really out here. But me, I was getting all wet, so I was freezing too. And me, you know me, I don't got no umbrella. Never carry an umbrella. I'm terrible. But I had like the trunk of my car open, and it was kind of like my covering. But people had like tents and stuff. So note it, next time I'm going to have me a tent when I do these events. So the flea market that's coming up, I'm actually going to start looking for a tent, because I'm going to make sure I have me one. So I did that community yard. So that was back in June. Then, you know, like I said, I was posting stuff on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, stuff on Macari, whatever. The other thing is, there's this thing called iView It. It is an app where you can go and take pictures and do surveys for, using this for example, a Dollar Tree. You'll sign up, say I want to do this Dollar Tree. You go to the site, you take pictures of the landscaping. What is the landscape? You know, all around the site, you're walking the property, you're taking pictures of the landscaping, you're answering their questions about if there's weeds in the beds, is the grass mowed, is there trash, you know, stuff, is there tree branches touching the building, light poles, things like that. There's other ones too, like there's a residential one. I did a residential one time. You walk the exterior of the property, you're taking pictures of the conditions, and then you basically let them know, like in the survey, if it's vacant or if it's occupied or not. I actually learned about iView It through my job, because I work for a like property management facilities maintenance company where I manage my landscapers and snow contractors for different clients, like a bank, for example. Like we do banks, we do other stuff, Sherwin-Williams and different things. We had churches at one point where we managed their landscaping and their snow removal. And essentially that's where I learned it from. So I like downloaded because they were like, oh, anybody could sign up, because it's not just our company thing, like anybody can use it. So sometimes I do some of like our clients if they pop up. It's not all the time, just only within my area, of course. And I won't go more than like 10 miles out. Like I try to stay kind of local-ish and not go too far out, because they're not going to be entirely worth it. So what I'll do is if some pop up and they're all within a certain, like an area, then within that area, 10-mile range or whatever, then I'll do, okay, like 3 or 4 in a day. One time I did 6 in a day, and I made an easy $60. Like, that's the type of stuff that I did and had to do to stay afloat. Like, that was my gas money. Like, you know, it just did what needed to be done. And I'm still doing it. I actually did some last night. I did a bunch of banks, pictures of their landscaping, and I made, what, $30 and something. So I did like 4 of them. So the way I make it worth it is like I try to do like 4 or more, and if they're within, you know, the range, if they're kind of somewhat near each other, and I won't go more like 10 miles out. I mean, I could go further out, but I don't really want to drive that far out just to take pictures of one place. I would want to make sure that it's, you know. So, and I'm a nerd, so I actually kind of find it I enjoy it a little bit, to be honest, because it's what I do for work, and it's what I see every day and look at. So it's like, when I'm doing these, especially the landscaping ones, I know what to look for. So it's like, oh, this is no-brainer stuff for me. Oh, that looked terrible. And, you know, yesterday, I did a couple banks, and the banks, I had 2 bank managers come out to me yesterday. One lady, because for this specific survey, I had to like check in with the bank. So the first one I went in, I was like, I just wanted to let you know I'm here to do landscaping inspection, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. So then she said something about the trimming of the bushes. I was like, no problem. I'll make a note of that. And then the other branch manager, I thought the bank was closed. So I was out there taking pictures. And then the guy comes out and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I thought you guys were closed for the night. Because it was like way after 6 o'clock when I was out there. And he's like, oh no, we're still open. We actually close a little bit later. I was like, oh, my apologies. I don't want any trouble. And then I explained to him who I was. And then he got to talking to me about like the one mulch bed or whatever off to the one side. And was saying like, because there's just all mulch in there, and he just wanted to talk about or put a request in to have them install like some flowers there or whatever. So I was like, no problem, I'll make a note of that, no big deal, we'll get it for you. So I think I knew somebody that works for the company that manages them, but anyway, that's besides the point. But in a nutshell, I'm gonna hustle me $1, and that's the type of things that I did to stay afloat. Yes, I did kind of look for part-time jobs like in the beginning, because I literally was like, I don't know what to do. Like, this is crazy. Like, I just feel like so far back against a wall, and it felt like that for like I couldn't breathe. Like, I have all these bills. You know, I'm like trying to maintain like all this stuff. So it was a lot to take in, but I made it, and I'm making it. And I'm like, just had to stay positive and just keep pep talking myself like, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be all right, you're gonna come out on the other side, like it's gonna be fine. And it ended up being fine. So I'm just happy to finally be able to get back into the rhythm of things this month. It kind of feels good to be filming again and getting back into my flow. I enjoy this wholeheartedly, and I honestly would help people do it too. Like, I thought about doing that as a side hustle. Like, oh, I should help people, get people set up for help them set up a budget, help them set up their cash stuffing method, stuff like that. So anyway, I'm so sorry, y'all. This is going to be a super long video today. Like, super long. Like, so chatty. I know. I'm sorry. I miss you guys. I wasn't filming for a while, so I'm making up for those videos I didn't film, right? So anyway, I'm gonna wrap up this video. We are done cash stuffing for this paycheck round. So I will see y'all in about 2 more weeks. I really hope that everyone has a wonderful and safe holiday weekend. I am sad that summer is over and coming to an end. Our weather here is already starting to get a little goofy. Like, it's like that hot and it's that cool in the morning. I'm like, not feeling this yet. I'm like, and then I feel like we got a little gypped with this summer. Okay, number one, it rained all the freaking June, so we lost basically the whole first month of summer, basically. And then, it just flies. It goes fast to begin with, and then for it to just be rain for a whole month. And then, next thing you know, we're going to blink and it's going to be Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Halloween, and this and that. And I'm like, oh, can we pause for a minute? But anyway. But yes, I hope everybody has a wonderful, safe holiday weekend. Happy Labor Day. Show me some love in the comments and make sure that you subscribe, guys. I need more subscribers on this channel. Like, I need y'all to help me out here. If you guys want see more videos popping up and get them, notified, then you gotta subscribe. So yes, please subscribe. Enjoy your holiday weekend. Like this video. Send me some comments. Show me some love in a comment section and let me know your thoughts. So I will see y'all in the next one. See ya.